All right. Look at you.
Greetings, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the Priestess View. I'm Goddess Rhonda, and of course, we have with us our beautiful Goddess Star, as always.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here again tonight. And I said hi to everyone in the chat room, Nate and Monica. I don't know who else came in, but all of you, welcome and thank you for being here tonight with us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, your support means so much to us. And please visit our Facebook page, The Priestess View, and like it. And also, please visit our Priestess View group and please join our group on Facebook. And there are links for that. If you look in the description of this broadcast, you'll see the links. Also, you'll also see the links to my website and also to Goddess Stars if you'd like to visit us and see what all we offer. We offer a lot of
Yeah,
amazing
a
things.
whole
So
bunch of
please,
stuff.
please visit our websites
Yep.
and just check it out. All right. As always, before we begin, we like to cast a circle of protection around us. All hail, our lords and ladies of the East, our brothers and sisters, our brother and patron, the sacred element of air, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is, so mote it be.
Thank you, and so it is, so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the South, my brothers and sisters, my brother and patron, the sacred element of fire. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is, so mote it be.
So it is, so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the West, our brothers and sisters, our sister and patron, the sacred element of water, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, so it is, so mote it be.
So it is, and so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the North, my brother and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of earth, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is, so mote it be.
So it is, so mote it be. And we now bring down the divine white light from the sacred source of all well-being and fill all of our spaces with peace and protection always. So it is, so mote it be. Thank you.
So it is, so mote it be. Thank you. All right.
All right, so here we are. And before we get started with our questions, our random questions, first I want to remind everyone to please join us in the chat room. It is, if you're on your computer, it is right to the right of the screen. I'm not quite sure if you're on a phone or a tablet where it is, but you might have to scroll down. And so you can join us in our chat room. That would be great. We have great people in there and we all get to talk and we chat. It's like a family. So please, please, please go ahead and join our chat room, make comments. Let's see everybody because we love seeing everybody in here.
Yes, absolutely. And we love your participation because if you noticed, watch any of our shows, you would notice you guys are part of our show. Very much so. So please do join in.
Absolutely. And we've got a lot of people in here, our family. We've got Monica, we've got Nate, we've got I'm scrolling down, guys, so just kind of bear with me. We've got Goddess Judy, we have Loyalty, Loyalty makes you family. We've got Ember, Marie. We've got Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Mary Meet. Goddess Bless. And so please join us because you can be a part of our family and participate in our show that way as well. All right, so let's roll forward. Now, for some reason, my screen on the regular one is completely blank, so I am hoping everyone can see. Gotta start, when you look at the other screen, can you see the show?
Okay. Hi, Goddess Rhonda. Sorry there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Great. I just can't seem to see, so I'm not sure if it's working. I just wanted to make sure that it's working. So I'm going to ask you, lovely people in the chat room, I want to make sure that you guys can actually see what's going on the screen. Would somebody please let me know? Because my screen for the regular page is completely blank.
Oh, dear.
And so I want to make sure.
Okay, let me.
That you guys are seeing us. Oh, great. Thank you, Goddess Monica.
Okay, great.
Monica's saying yes. Okay, so it's probably just my my computer, so I'm not going to worry about it then.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's go to, before we even get started with our first question, I started saying that. I'm all over the place. You know, we're in the realm of Pisces. I'm a Pisces. It's Neptune, so I'm like floating around up there in the stars, trying to keep my feet on the earth. Goddess Star, would you please, before we begin, give us a little plug about Witch Fest?
Oh, right. Yes. Witch Fest is coming up this year. I know we tried to attempt it last year, but this year would be our first year of doing the entire weekend and not just one day, which is what Witches Fest has always been in the last 6 years. And in this 7th year, we are doing it the entire weekend. So it's July 13th, 14th, and 15th. And Saturday is planned as it has always been, which is all day long outside on the street on Astor Place between Broadway and Lafayette. And all day long, we are offering, I think it's 13 different workshops for free, as well as amazing vendors all day long. And performers, beautiful performers that we've had in the past and new ones as well. So we would love to have you come on down. And then for the Friday and the Sunday, because we wanted to take this magical event and make it into a complete magical weekend. So the Friday from 5 to 10 p.m. are going to be amazing workshops, and all the presenters that are there, you will have access to all the items that they sell, or their books, or different things that we'd love to have you take a look at. And then on the Sunday, we will have workshops beginning, I believe, either 10:30 or 11 a.m. and going to, I think, 6:30. And then we're going to have a panel this year of all the presenters. So you guys will get to not just meet them, but ask questions about whatever it is you want to ask, whether it's the workshops that you've done all weekend, or just about their new books or books that they've written, anything that you want to ask and get to know them. Maybe book readings. Again, wonderful vendors all day long on Sunday. So it's, and then of course that big nice ritual that we have at the end to say thank you to everyone for joining us that magical weekend. So we do hope that many of you guys are able to come on down and spend the entire weekend if you can, or even if it's one of the days. That would be lovely to see you. Check out witchesfestusa.org, and you can go and register for Friday and Sunday. That's being held indoors. So being New York, we do have to cover the rents of the spaces. So we'd love to have, it's not expensive. It's $75 for Friday. I believe it's $95 for Sunday. And if you buy it just for the whole weekend, it's $135. So it's a wonderful price, I think, for all the workshops that you get, which I believe is over 36 workshops altogether. Yeah, for $135. So, it's all meant really, it's not to do anything else other than to offer a lot of our knowledge and share it with all of you guys. And in turn, maybe you guys can share some of your knowledge with us as well, because a lot of you guys have a lot under your belt as well. And hopefully, many times in the future, you guys could join us. So we'd love to have you guys there. All right. Okay. Thank you, Goddess, for allowing me to do that.
Well, that's
And
really
don't forget, you would be there as well. Goddess Rhonda and myself both would be there, along with a
yeah.
lot of other amazing people. That hopefully you guys saw my ads all on my page and everything. Amazing, amazing groups of people that are going to be there. Should I go down the list of some of them?
Yes, you
If I
should.
remember off of the top of my head. Oh, wait a minute. Did I have it with me? No. Yeah, actually, I can do it from here. There is, I'm going to name us first because you're right here and me, right? So there's, there's Rhonda and myself, Goddess Rhonda and myself. Elizabeth Ruth Davis, she is from Detroit and she does the hoodoo and all of that and voodoo. There's author Lilith Dorsey. There's Sharon Day. She is an Alexandrian high priestess from England that is coming in. She is trained with Maxine Sanders, and she's coming in from England to be with us and offer a lot of her knowledge. There's Christopher Penzak, you know, that great author. He's amazing. He's there every time he comes out. I love it. There's Lady Rhea. She wrote the Enchanted Candle formulary book. There's Crystal Madison, the Witch of Sleepy Hollow. Let's see, Reverend Don Lewis. He's coming in as well. Queen Mother Imaku, she is the one that created that rune magic. I think it's called the runes itself, right? And she went back with her history with many things going back. We'd love to have her on one day so you can hear her history because she's amazing. Eddie Massey, Kenya Koviak from Detroit as well. She's coming in. I think that's it. So we have a few, like I think it's like 13 different. Oh, Greg Sakari from he's with the Wicked Witch of the North. So it's a lot of amazing people, and they are all loving just coming in to do this event and offer all their knowledge and and share with you guys. So I really hope you guys will join us. All right. Thank you again.
Yeah, and a 135 is a great price. If you think about it, for 36 workshops and average it out, that's less than $5 a class. Where are you going to find that? With all of us, people in one place where you can learn, pick our brains, all that. That's
amazing. Yeah,
that's
it's
a
an
value
amazing
that you're
price,
not going to get anywhere else. So less than $5 a class. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So please be there or be square, as we used to say as old people.
Oh, our age is showing us that one.
I don't care. That's okay. I like being a clone.
Hey, we're like fine wine. It's okay.
All right. So now we're going to get into our topics. And please, our beautiful peeps in the chat room, please, by all means, let us know what you think and what your opinions are and such. So our first question is, what are your favorite rituals? Now, I love rituals, and I understand that not everybody does rituals. I was reading something, I think, in your chat room, Goddess Star, where you were asking the difference between a witch and Wicca, and someone had responded,
Oh, right. Yeah.
they don't do spells, but they observe the wheel of the year, but they don't consider themselves a witch. I mean, it was like this whole thing. I'm like, well, wait, what? And so ritual to me is very important. It's how I start my day. It's how I get my act together. And so we're curious. I mean, a lot of us do many rituals. We might do our spells and our worship and things like that. But what are your favorite ones to do? What are the ones that are like, oh, you either can't wait to do it, or it's the first one you go to, or something you do every day that just makes you feel really, really good, makes you feel empowered, makes you feel strong, or conveys your love and affection to deity, knowing that not everybody here, because I know that not everyone is faith-based, and that's okay. So it does not have to be a faith-based ritual, just something that you do that makes you feel good and that you enjoy doing. So, Goddess Star, I'm going right at you first.
I know, right? Throw me under the bus this time again.
Right away.
Okay. As I was thinking about it, as you was actually saying it, actually, some of my favorite ones are just conversing with the goddesses and gods, literally walking past my altar, and it takes a second. And it's because my day and my time is like so occupied with so many things, literally every second of the day, from the time I wake up to the time I close my eyes, that I don't have time to do a lot of ritual. And yes, I meet with our temple, and we do our full moon and our new moons, and the sabbats are very important for us.
Right.
But I think it's such a big preparation for those things that sometimes the simplest things to me are much more enjoyable, because there's less taken out of me to do it. Is that, if that's the right words to say? Um, so I find just simply conversing with spirit or the deities, and just, thanking them for allowing me to wake up and breathe another fresh day, another life into myself, another day, and for their continued protection throughout the day, in one form or another. And it's a very personal thing. It's very much because my altar is in right inside of my bedroom. Again, being in New York City, very lacking of space, but it's considered a sizable apartment for New York City. Um, but I do have a tendency that is right there in my bedroom. So I'm passing it, and as I'm passing it each day, I just want to simply say a thank you for being there and getting to, I think it's a way of me getting to know them better, because no matter what we say, many of us don't journey with our gods and goddesses. They just simply um, take the word of whomever came before with whatever they came up with for the deities, and they presume, well, this god or goddess does this, this, and that, and that's what they leave it at, and they don't do their own journey with the gods and goddesses and get to really know them. And I think that's kind of sad. If nothing else, try to do that, get to know them, so that when you really reach out to them for any particular help or anything like that, really from your heart the receptiveness of it. So I don't know, that's about it for me with that. What about you, goddess?
Oh, I have like a small laundry list. Okay, so I have a couple of rituals that I love to do that I wrote them down. Um, One of them is before I get out of bed in the morning, I like to do an energy check on myself to see how I'm doing. And also, I want to start my day running on all cylinders. So before I even swing my legs over the bed, I will do a quick check in with my chakras, and I light up my chakras. Just a very quick, I don't have time to lay there for an hour and do a treatment on myself every day. But what I'll do is I do what I call light bulbing, where I imagine that, for example, there's a red light bulb over my root chakra, and I turn it on and just blast. And so I'll do like all of the light bulbing of my chakras, my hands, my feet, and then clean my aura as well. And that already starts me off on a good day if I do that. Some days I don't have time to do that if I'm running late or something like that, which brings me to my next favorite ritual. And of course, when I wake up in the morning, I'm always like, thank you for another day in which to live and to breathe. I'm
Yeah,
always
yeah.
very, very grateful. I have a gratitude thing that I do all day, and I learned when in 2005, when I had surgery for a 20-pound uterine tumor, and they were like, oh, you're going to bleed out. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll be fine. But after that happened, I learned to be grateful for small things and just quit whining. I catch myself if I'm whining about things that are stupid or not relevant. Even when I grab a tissue to blow my nose, I'll say, I am so grateful that I've got two hands that can hold this tissue and a nose to blow. I can actually blow my nose, because not everybody can blow their nose. Not
Yeah.
everybody's that lucky. If you're lucky enough to actually walk on your own 2 feet to the bathroom and go to
You're
the bathroom,
lucky.
some people have to sit on dialysis machines because they can't
That's
go
not
to the
fun.
bathroom.
It's not fun.
And so I am grateful for everything. Thank you for the food. Thank you for everything. Thank you for these clothes. Being grateful is one of my favorite rituals. Not only does it do my heart good to remind myself how blessed I am, because not everybody right now has a roof over their head and food in the fridge.
That's
So a lot
scary.
of people don't. But it also conveys to deity my gratitude. We're not just here to have our hands out and say, Goddess, can you do this for me? God, can you do that for me? and brother earth, brother fire, can you do this for me? It's about saying, I so appreciate you. This is we live in a thankless world. It's unfortunate, but we
Yeah.
do. We can do 1,000 kind acts every day, and you're lucky if one person says thank you. And so by us saying thank you to deity or spirits or the elements, whoever it is, the energies, however you term it, which is fine, saying thank you means a lot to them as well. And when you show gratitude, they're even more likely to come and help you. Because they know, well, you know what, Rhonda's not here with just her hand out begging all the time. She
Yeah.
actually says thank you. She gives us presents. She does things to say thank you very much. So being grateful kind of keeps me humble, which is important. And also, it reminds me of how blessed I am, even just to be sitting here
Yeah.
in front of you talking. Not everyone can talk. Some of them have speech problems, or they had to have surgery and they can't speak. If you're looking at me, you're very blessed. I'm very blessed to be able to look and see Goddess Star, and see you guys in the chat room and respond and type. I am such a blessed person that I remind myself of that whenever I start to get down in the dumps about something. And hey, I do. I'll start
Oh, yeah.
whining about something, or my leg is aching, and because I have Lyme disease, so sometimes my arthritis starts hurting, and then I'm like, well, you know what? My knee hurts, but at least I have a knee. At least my plantar
Yeah.
fasciitis might be killing me, but I got feet to walk on. Thank you so much. So being grateful is a ritual that I do all day long, and it keeps me happy, and it keeps me humble, and it keeps me in a feeling of gratitude, of happiness, of feeling blessed. And when you can maintain that feeling of being blessed, blessings do flow to you. I have found that since I have pulled my brain out of the abyss with, this happened and that happened and so pissed me off and blah, 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 into changing it to being grateful for everything. All those little things that bother me end up meaning nothing to me anymore, and I can stay in a state of grace. And so that really helps me. And I tell that a lot, to my clients about focus on what you have to be grateful for. That's really important to me. Before I move on with my list of rituals, Goddess Star, would you like to add anything?
I so wholeheartedly agree with you with what you said. And I think it's along the lines of what I initially said. Because yeah, and it doesn't just keep us humble. Um, it reminds us that we are in service of our congregation, our people. Just like how this whole reciprocal thing that we all do with one another here in on this show, and when we see you guys in the chat room, it just all feels like this big wide world of connection, and we're
Mm-hmm.
very grateful for that. It keeps us grounded. It keeps us reminding us how much we have gained. You know, all the things that are so positive in our lives. Yes, things makes us angry. We're human, and I will bitch and complain for a bit. I'm just like,
Yes, of course.
Goddess Rhonda has heard me sometimes, and it can get really bad. But yeah, it just reminds me of how much we would get sometimes people who said, I watched you guys show one of the older ones and it helped me so much. And when we hear or see things like that, it makes us so grateful that we're even able to do this show.
Yes.
Because as much as you guys give, we think that we're here to help you, or vice versa, it's just that all of us, in a way, are connected to other people outside of this. And when they see and hear our communication with one another and everything, it's so many things that we are all here for with each other. If you know what I mean. We're all here providing and giving to one another. And that's a big deal. I don't know many shows that can say that. I don't care who they are. I don't know many shows that can say this same reciprocal thing. So, all of it, yes, the rituals and all the things that we do, and we don't even realize that we're all doing the different rituals. So it's something I wholeheartedly agree with whatever you said, with all that you said.
Awesomeness. My next favorite ritual to do is, well,
I
it's
know. Make your list, girl. You go ahead and you say those lists out. Go ahead, girl. I love it.
well, I have to make a list because otherwise I'll show up here and it's like, okay, so what are the rituals? And I'll be sitting here with crickets, like, oh my God, because once you get on camera and the camera's
I
staring at
know.
you, it's like,
They're
think.
in the headlights kind of thing.
So I try to make at least jot down a few things to help me. But one of my other
Yeah.
favorite rituals is when I get into the shower is I like to do ritual in the shower. First of all, I'm a Pisces, so I like the water anyway. But what I love to do in the shower, the first thing I do is when I cut it on, you can do this in the bathtub too, is I think the element of fire and the element of water, because you combine the hot and cold water so that the temperature is just right for you. And so I thank the element of fire and the element of water for working in harmony and ask them to cleanse, heal, and harmonize me on all levels and connect with those elements of fire and water at the same time so that as I'm washing my physical body, I am washing my aura, I'm washing my chakras, I'm washing everything. And then I also have a prayer that I do in the shower to the deities while I'm thanking them for everything that they do for me. So when I come out of the shower, I am feeling so good and so strong. And working with fire and water at the same time and acknowledging that here are two separate elements where typically you could throw water on fire and the fire will go
Yeah.
out. But here they are, and it's a lesson for all of it. Just because you're opposite of someone or something does not mean you cannot come together in harmony the way fire and water come together when you're washing your dishes, washing your body, washing your children, washing your car, whatever it is that you're doing. It is such a lesson that here are two separate elements that came together to help you. They're working in harmony to help you accomplish something. And so I acknowledge that and really get into that so that I come out nice and harmonized on all levels of my being. That's my intention when I get in there. And so that's another ritual that I love to do is to acknowledge and do ritual with fire and water as they're working together
Right.
to help me. Because normally they would be separate.
Yeah, one would douse the other. So that's
And one
awesome.
without
Yes.
the other. But here they are for you, which is yet another reason to be grateful for you so that you can be clean and your children can be clean and your dishes and your clothes and everything else can be clean. They come together for you and work in harmony to help you to achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve with them. So acknowledging that and acknowledging that harmonious relationship and then harmonizing yourself because we contain all of the elements. We're everything. And so by getting yourself in harmony, body, mind, and spirit, you can start your day feeling a lot better. So that's another ritual that I like to do. It's pretty much a daily ritual that I love to do.
Yes.
Do you want to add anything as I go down my list?
Yes, as you say, that's a great idea. When you added the water, sometimes what you can do too, you can add a third element to it. I add sometimes sea salt, and that's when you want to add that extra after you've done the regular cleansing, you can add the sea salt to it and to the water, and then do the extra cleansing for whatever maybe you need an extra spiritual cleansing or anything like that. So I think all of those things that she mentioned is just so astronomical. They're beautifully said, and they do work really well together to help cleanse us spiritually, mentally, physically, all of it, and rejuvenates you for the day. Isn't that how you begin your day? Um,
Absolutely.
and make you feel refreshed and ready to face head on whatever is going to come at you that day. So, or whenever you begin your day, maybe some of you begin your day at nights, whatever it is,
Right, right.
whenever you do that routine, it is part of that whole cleansing and rejuvenation to help you start and begin your day. So, what she said is just absolutely beautiful and correct. And thank you so much for reminding us of that. Yeah.
No, you're welcome. And it's also a reminder that you're not alone. We're starting off our day with assistance, with two
Yeah.
elements that have come together, because a lot of times in this business, we're helping everybody else, but we're also here to prove what we can do. So a lot of times we're under the gun and we're on our own. We just have to handle things on our own. And you can feel like, oh my God, I have to handle this all by myself. I'm tired of handling everything all by myself. Guess what? You're not handling everything all by yourself. You have a lot of help that's boosting you through the day that you may not be aware of. Before I get into the next one, I'm going to go ahead and let's check into our chat room so that we
Oh,
can
yes, 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 absolutely. Let's hear what our
what
lovelies are saying.
rituals are. So I'm going to kind of scroll up. All righty. We've got Ember Marie, who says, building my sacred fire when I dance. Sing.
Yeah.
Now, oh boy. Okay. So anyone who looks at my page knows that I have a new place with a wood burning fireplace. That's also
Yes.
on the
Oh
list.
my gosh. I saw that. I'm like, I'm so jealous. Ah, ah. Fireplace. I love it.
I'll add that later. But yes, I love, and I had to learn because I'd never worked with a wood burning stove or fireplace before. When I was growing up, we had a coal burning one. And so I wasn't sure how to. I tried to make a fire and I was doing it wrong. I didn't know you actually had to build a fire. I thought you just kind of threw the log in and put the paper in there and
Yeah.
magically it would work. Well, I was wrong. And one of my clients had come over and I was like, I love my fire. I have to figure out how to make a fire because I can't make one. And she's the one that taught me. And this is where Goddess Star and I always say, you guys teach us too. She
Yeah.
said, no, you have to start with the paper and the kindling first. Then you put the smaller logs on in like sort of a stacking thing, and then you put the when they're going and the bigger ones on.
Wow.
I love that ritual of building it. It's like
Yeah.
the same thing you do with a spell. You're starting it off with this and that, and it grows and grows as you add your other
And you
components.
build it. Yeah.
So it's cool. So we've got Ember, who says she loves building her sacred fire when she dances, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
She loves singing on the road and songbirds following her. That is so beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, so then we've got Goddess Monica, who says, I love candles, everything and anything. Sometimes the ritual isn't even an intent, it's just a connection to the flame. Awesome. I love
Yeah. Yeah.
fire. Fire is very, very, very
Powerful. Yeah.
cool. And then let's see what else. Ellen says that she also loves candles. I wonder, Goddess Ellen, I think we all have a thing for candles.
With candles. Yeah.
But I do. I have a thing for candles.
Me too. Me too.
All right, let's go. Let's see.
Most of my spells are candle spells. So yeah, I
I love
understand.
that. We have Goddess Janelle says, I love that tip on the chakra check and definitely to work on my gratitude. It's something that you build to, one of the things that helps is to really be aware of your thoughts. When I actually started practicing mindfulness, where I'm actually paying attention to what's going on in my head and the conversation, because you've got a steady conversation going in your head all the time. There's a steady litany going on about something.
Yeah.
And when I started actually paying attention to what was rolling through my head, I could not believe the negative things I was saying to myself. Oh my God, I can't believe you screwed that up. Oh, or this, or oh, how are you going to do this? It's just too much, And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't realize had all these thoughts going through my head that are counterproductive and actually putting out energy that is against what I'm trying to do. And so what you do is you have to really focus in on what it is that's going through your head. You might put on a dress and look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I look so fat in this dress. Take that back right away. It's a dress's fault. It's not your fault. Something's wrong with the dress. The dressmaker screwed it up,
Yeah.
And you're awesome despite the dress. You have to kind of pay attention to your thoughts and that will help you. We've got Ember, who also, I guess she did, because it says me too, so I'm guessing she did. Okay, so I guess she's starting on her gratitude. Janelle says it's amazing wake up call. And we've got Ember, who's acknowledging me. Thank you, Ember. Then we've got Monica, who says, like the movie critic guy, he couldn't eat and he wrote a cookbook. Now that's interesting. Someone who couldn't eat and wrote a cookbook. Goddess says, I want to try every recipe in that book because I can. I think you should. Got it. Hold on. My thing scrolls by itself. So just bear with me. And then I lose my place completely. Wow, it
That's
really scrolled.
I
Okay.
love some of the ones that you said already, which is amazing. The dancing and the singing, all
Ah,
those things I love to do as
those are
well.
good.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, let's see. Just bear with me because it really scrolled like, well, you know what? When someone puts a comment in, it scrolls down to the bottom. That's what happens. Okay, there we were. The movie guy who couldn't eat. Okay. Okay, so that is inspiring, Goddess Janelle, the movie guy who couldn't eat and wrote a cookbook. And then Janelle goes on to say, it is helpful that I'm not alone. Definitely appreciating the video in the chat room. I'm so glad. Goddess Janelle, please always join us on our chat. It's a real family. Everyone cares here. That's one of the things I love is that it's just such an awesome connection that we all have. Okay, Amma, Rhonda, you're deep. Thank you so much. Goddess Judy, I need a ritual. Hold on, Goddess Judy. My thing scrolled again. I need a ritual. I used to pray regularly as a youngster, but have kind of got scattered and not consistent with what Goddess Star and Rhonda are doing. You know what? First of all, let's not put any pressure on yourself. You know, your rituals are something that you build that are custom to you. So if you just get up in the morning and say, thank you for another day in which to live and to breathe, that's a part of your ritual. You
Yeah,
know, you're just building. If you make yourself a nice cup of coffee in the morning, you can thank the element of water for your coffee. You can thank the cows that provided the cream for your milk. You can thank the earth for providing the coffee beans that gave you the coffee or the tea that you're drinking. You can build rituals, but you want to build rituals that resonate with you.
with you. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and once they resonate with you, then you'll find that you do them all the time. If I try to take a ritual that Goddess Star does, but it's not quite resonating with me, then I'm probably not going to do it. But if I
yeah.
take a ritual that Goddess Star does and I'm like, hey, this is great. I like this ritual she does. I'm more likely to do it. So you just kind of have to feel your way, right, Goddess Star?
Absolutely. I've actually did one, and whenever I don't have a car right now, but I'm going to get one soon. But whenever I'm in my friend's car and I'm driving, I have actually started singing and dancing as part of a ritual there, whatever it is that's on the radio, whatever. And next thing I know, the people that are crossing at the streetlights and stuff, they're looking at me and they're going like this themselves. So part of the energy is kind of, whatever you have to do, whatever makes it right for you. Dance, sing, say thank you, just simply a thank you. They know what you mean, they know how you feel, and just go with it. Whatever it a ritual, create something or build something simple or as big as you want, that's right, that fits right with you and fits in with your schedule, fits in with who you are as a person. So that way it picks up for you every day without thinking. So make it as simple or as grand, whatever you want to do that makes you feel happy and go getting for that day, you know, because it is what it is. We have to make what we need it to be for us so
Mm-hmm.
that we can survive. We can keep going. We can push ourselves there without even thinking about it. It has to be something literally that you're not having to think about too much, because then it will become part
Yeah.
of your ritual without realizing it.
Yes.
So this is what we mean by, you can follow something of ours if you find it works for you, but if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work for you, that's okay. You have to find what works right for you, and don't pressure yourself, because the whole idea of doing this in the first place is to make you feel right with your world,
Right.
you know so that means no
Right.
pressure,
No
and
pressure.
do what feels good.
And do I love that. Just do what feels good. And if you try one of our techniques and it doesn't resonate with you, don't think that there's anything wrong with you. There's nothing wrong
Nope.
with you. You're not broken. It's just that just wasn't your thing. So that just means, you're going to try different things that go in alignment with what works for you, but don't pressure yourself or say, oh my goodness, I didn't do this today, blah, blah. All you're doing is putting out energy that doesn't need to be put out there. Just say, okay,
Amen.
maybe I didn't get a chance to do ritual today. Things come up. I had to go to work. I had to feed my kids. I had to do this. The universe understands. They're not going to say, oh, I know you had to go to work, feed your kids, go to the grocery store, pick up the dry cleaning, get your kids to soccer practice, help them with their homework, but we still demand that you give us ritual. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, this is not that type of religion
No,
or
it's
faith or
not that
being
type
for.
of.
It's
They
not Christianity. This is not Christianity or any of those things. This is
no,
you
it is
as that
just you.
spiritual being, whatever you want to call your spiritual self. This is just you. That means you create whatever means or whatever rituals and whatever things for you. It is strictly done for and by you, no one else.
Exactly. And don't.
And another thing, do not allow anyone, and that means us as well, to judge what you do or don't do with that.
Oh, absolutely.
It is your thing. So if it's your thing, Monica, then how could Star or Goddess Rhonda say it's wrong or right or it's not right or whatever it is? It's a Monica thing, you know, or it's a Nate thing. Whatever it is, just do you.
Just do you. Exactly. Don't ever let someone tell you, oh, my way is the only way. That lets you know that they have an itis. You know, Goddess
Yep,
Star and I,
yep,
we haven't talked about the itises in a long time,
yep.
where I am the queen and I know everything. As soon as
Oh
someone
yes, I am
knows
so
what's
that.
best for you and their way is the only way, say thank you very much and walk away. Don't even bother talking to them again because
It's
they're a
been
big
real.
time.
Yeah,
And
it's been real. Yeah.
all right, so now let's see. Moving on, we have Goddess Ember, who says, Goddess Rhonda, I'm on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. I'm sorry, I'm a Virgo Libra cusp of beauty, but it's not easy harmonizing in one body, but I managed to build bridges outwardly due to the struggle within. Okay, so let me give you just a really quick way for you to kind of balance yourself out so that you're engaging with everything. So I want everybody to just take 2 seconds to close your eyes and then just mentally repeat after me. Divine inner consciousness, divine outer consciousness, divine creative consciousness. Engage. Do you feel that energy flowing through you? These are your bodies coming together in harmony to now help you. I do this before I even do my spell work to bring everything together. So if you try that and just, start off in the day that way, go throughout the day, divine inner consciousness, divine outer consciousness, divine creative consciousness, engage. You'll feel that energy flowing through you and it will empower you. And then you'll be running on all of your cylinders. So that can help you to get in touch with what's going on in the inward way. The problem with being on a Virgo Libra cusp is Virgo is especially a Virgo woman. Virgo men are completely different, but Virgo women are very humble and they're pleasers, and the idea of saying I'm a beautiful person may not be in alignment with their humility because they really are very service oriented. So you might feel guilty, and that can go back to, especially if you were raised with Christianity. Oh, you're not allowed to tell yourself you're pretty. That's pride. Tell yourself you're as gorgeous as you want to is my attitude. Because who else is going to tell you? You might as well tell yourself, yeah, you know what? I'm gorgeous and I'm wonderful. But that kind of can fight with your Venus of the Libra, where the Venus is like, that's right, I'm bad. I am a badass, fat chick, gorgeous,
Yeah.
and I mean fat with a PHAT as opposed to FAT. Your Venus, Libra Venus is like, I am the bomb. And your Mercury and your Virgo is like, oh, but I can't say that because then I might be conceited. You know what? Don't let what other people tell you influence you. When people try to tell you, oh, it's not good to say that you're beautiful, they're trying to take your power away from you. They want you to walk around with your head down like a sheep. Recognize your beauty. You are a beautiful, wonderful goddess, and get your Virgo and your Libra to harmonize. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is intelligence and wisdom. Say, hey, Mercury, you know what? I need your help. Can you give me the wisdom that I need that's going to help me to accept my inner beauty, to accept my Venus, and can you work in harmony with my Venus to help me to become the best I can be? You know, talk to them. Talk to your two planets and ask them to harmonize and help you, and they will, of course, give them an offering. You know, you want to, especially whatever your sign is, you want to make friends with whoever your ruling planets are. And I say planets because, you know, you've got your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. I'm a sun Pisces, moon Capricorn, rising Leo. So that's the sun, Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter. They're all my friends. I've made great friends with them because I need them, and they rule my planets, and so I need their help. So you can ask for that help. But if you just do your consciousness harmonizing several times a day, they will come together. You'll feel more empowered, and then you can roll forward with that. Before I move on to the next comment in the chat room, got us started. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, no, no. You did it wonderfully well. The only thing I might say, and I always say no, and then I go the only thing, right? The only thing I might add, I know, right? The only thing I might possibly add is a lot of what you said, other than outside of the astrological part, a lot of the words was so beautifully said, and that could go for just about anyone. Just so you know, do not allow anyone to make you feel less than you are or to take away that beauty from you, because you're all beautiful or handsome in whatever way
Absolutely.
for you. You know what I mean? And there are many people out there who are willing to make you feel less than, or many religious people, which a lot of them do, because, I'm not going to go there with that one, but you know what I mean. So
Right.
apply a lot of what Goddess Rhonda just said to you personally as well, along with the planetary alignments and everything, but to you personally, to not allow anyone to take away your power or your empowerment of yourself. Because self-empowerment is one of the biggest dangers that people have. And I'm saying the word dangers because that's the one that most people attack. Your
Yeah.
self-empowerment. People attack that the most because that's how they chip away at your armor and at who you are as a person. And a lot of them do get through that armor. So you have got to learn to keep self-empowering and keep that negative people away from you that will do that to you, because you're not giving them that power over you. You're
Right.
not allowing them to take that back from you, because you earned that. You gave yourself that. And the only one that could give yourself that or take that away is you. Okay? So just kind of, adding to that little part.
Absolutely. And then Goddess Ember says, Judy, meditation is important to find your center. And that's when you find what ways to work to do this in the moment. Absolutely. And Goddess Star will agree. Meditation is so.
Boy, every minute that you can get to do it, do it, man.
So, first of all, I love having a few minutes where I can actually sit in meditation. It's just such a wonderful restorative thing. Keeps you connected to the divine. It's just a wonderful thing. So starting with meditation, thank you so much for saying that, because
Yep.
that is very, very true.
And it's a quick reminder to us. Even though we know it, we will forget because we're doing the show and everything. Which is why, like we keep saying, you guys are a very intricate part of our show, or very integral part of the show. Okay.
Absolutely. We've got Britanna. I hope I said your name correctly. Please forgive me if I did not. Who says shalom? Shalom back to you, goddess. Ellen says, oops, hold on. I scrolled a little too far. Okay, there's where it says Ember and Judy. Oh, there it is. So Goddess Ellen says, I start with a morning prayer, which ends in thanking my ancestors for watching over me. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Ember says, Goddess Rhonda, make a teepee and a log cabin design. You know what? It's funny that you say that. I have wanted a log cabin from the time I was a kid, and I'm going to have one. A beautiful log cabin. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it's something that I've always wanted. So it's interesting that you said that. Okay, so then Britanna says, hi, have you all ever heard of the eyes hurting when trying to meditate? I think it hurts me to focus. I haven't. I personally, my eyes don't hurt me. I'm wondering, are you meditating, gazing at something? Because you might do better meditating with your eyes closed. You know, I've had clients that do meditating with their eyes open. They're not comfortable with their eyes closed. And then I have some that are better with their eyes closed because they don't like them to be open because they find that things are too distracting. So if
Yeah.
you're gazing at something, try it with your eyes closed and see if that
Also, the way that she said that too, I'm wondering if the lights are on when she's doing it, because I have heard people say it distracts them. So with the distraction, it may create a slight pain or whatever to the eyes. I don't know if that was part of it or not, because then it's probably best or more conducive for you to be doing it in the dark. So it all depends. I'm not sure the situation you're in when you're doing it.
right.
Um, but yeah.
So then we have no school like the old school Nate, who says, my
Yeah.
best feel good ritual now that YouTube lets me type is turning all the lights off, lighting primary colored candles, and house dancing with my headphones and my guides and
Yeah.
flowers. Rock on.
Woohoo!
That sounds freaking awesome. And he
Yeah.
says it's a riot to see who shows up. I think that's awesome, and I will be doing that because I'm
Yeah,
stealing that right
that
from
is
you.
awesome. That is
I
awesome.
love that. That's awesome. We have Goddess Judy who says, I do say that I use candle magic at times, and I'm trying to be more consistent with meditation. I moved last year away from a house that I own, so still trying to get my center here. We can totally dig it.
Yeah.
Um, Goddess Monica says, yep. Goddess Rhonda, people accidentally curse or hex themselves with negative thoughts and self-talk. That is so true. People can really, really hex themselves and not really be aware of it. Janelle's like, true, I overanalyze. I'm such a Virgo. And that's okay. Virgos are beautiful people. They help a lot of people. Ember says, I love that old school my place is in the forest. Yeah. Oh, I would kill to be in. All right, maybe I wouldn't kill anybody, but having my log cabin in the woods, oh,
Yeah.
I know that that's probably what I had in another lifetime, and I'm clinging to that life and want it back. But that
Yeah.
is one of my dreams. You can relate to that, right, Goddess Star?
Oh, please. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's so funny. When I was younger, I used to want only that. And then all the movies now that came about, but log cabin in the woods and the people dying and hanging, I'm like, really? You think? So now, every now and then, when I think log cabin in the woods, I'm like, oh dear.
I
Do
want
not take
that.
away my dream cabin in the woods, you know. But
I want that
yeah,
so
we tend
badly.
to do things. We tend to do things that are a throwback to our different lifetimes or different pasts that we've had. So I'm not surprised when a few things come forward with, with things that we're doing now, whether it's the dancing, the singing, the whatever means that works for you. Make it work.
Make it work. Make it work. Whatever works for you. We've got Goddess Ellen who says, I must meditate more. My concentration is off after 10 to 15 minutes. That's okay. You can build up to 20 minutes. There's nothing wrong with even 10 minutes. You know, if I get 5 minutes, I'm going to do it. I'll use whatever chance I get.
Use it, man.
We don't always get, time like that. Let's see. Then we've got loyalty makes you family. I started doing a ritual where I ask questions before I go to sleep, take some deep breaths, and I usually get my answer to my questions within 3 days. That's in a dream. That I think is an awesome
Yeah, it's
idea. You
awesome.
can
Yeah,
do
that
that.
is beautiful.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And so Goddess Judy is saying, thanks, Rhonda, or to the universe. Here I am, brace yourself. I love you, Goddess Judy. You're so funny.
What'd she say? I'm sorry, I missed that one.
She said, she's saying to the universe, here I am, brace yourself.
Yes, there you go, girl.
And that's all right. Bring it. They love it.
Oh,
Uh,
well, not just that. The universe has been bracing itself and waiting for you, girl, all that time because you're doing it.
exactly.
You're doing it, so the universe is all set.
Exactly.
It's funny.
And you're well. Goddess Janelle is thanking us, Goddess Star, and thanking the chat room family. You are so welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. And then Goddess Monica goes, new chat rule up for vote. When Goddess Star or Goddess Rhonda are reading comments, no comments so it doesn't scroll. That isn't such a bad idea because it scrolls by itself
Yeah.
And then I can't find anything. Okay. So then we've got Goddess Judy who says, thanks, I am a recovering Catholic. I guess I do general blessings on my way to work. White light high to gods and goddesses. Beautiful. That's something. Ember says, thank you, Goddess. You're welcome. And please forgive me if I'm saying this incorrectly. Satsuki and May Moon. Woo, that's powerful. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this and that it's helping you. We've got Goddess Ellen. Sometimes I chant before my rituals since I was Buddhist. Cool. Let's see. And then we've got, wait, I think I scrolled a little bit too far. I did. Let me go right back up again.
And while you're doing that, if you guys notice, I've been doing this with my hands and everything. This is a ritual that I do of thanks and gratefulness for, how Goddess Rhonda, you talked about how you feel the pain in different parts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my arthritis and this in my hands and everything hurts a lot. So I was very grateful for my oil that I created, that I was rubbing on it. And as I was doing it the whole time, now the pain is gone or lessened entirely, and I can move it around better because it was really hurting me earlier. So it could be something as simple as what I was doing without even realizing it. I'm saying thank you and being grateful that I'm able to do that, So you can do a ritual in any time. You could literally be in a job interview or anything like that and
That's
doing
right.
something that only you know what you're doing and chanting to yourself or saying to yourself. And there's your ritual right there for the day. So whatever you want to do, don't let time or place or whatever it is stop you, except for when you're driving.
Yeah, let's we gotta
Except
draw
for
the
when
line
you're
somewhere.
driving. I want you to concentrate, whatever works for you, work. Let it work. Okay. That way you can say, well, Goddess Star told me anytime. I don't want you getting hurt. Okay.
Yeah, right. Then you next thing you know, you're served with a lawsuit because
Yeah,
you
I'm like,
told
but I
me,
meant.
you said it was
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
So we don't want you suing Goddess Star. So please don't do this while you're driving
Yep.
or doing.
No.
All right. So now let's go back to our chat room. Okay, there it is. We've got Judy who says, Star meant to say to you, as you talk about power, it reminded me of last week when we talked about our dark side. Yes, if you guys didn't get to see that show, we talked about last week accepting and embracing our dark side. So you can just, it'll be you'll see it in the video, so you can still see that. Let's see. Nate says, also, I love the necklaces on tonight that the beautiful goddesses are rocking. Thank you. When you move after living somewhere for like 9 years, you find the best stuff. I found so
I
many
knew you were going to say that.
that I didn't even, I forgot. I was like, look at this. I'm going to put this on. I found so much jewelry. I'm like, it's Christmas, like practically. I've got all this great stuff.
New stuff.
I found clothes I haven't seen. There's times like, oh, I have nothing to wear. Guess what? I have so much stuff to wear that's just been
Sitting
folded
there.
away or putting away. And so, that's one of the things I probably should do is like every 6 months, clean as if I'm moving so that this doesn't happen again. Because I'm telling you, if you're going to be moving after living somewhere for a while, OMG, it is. You might look around and say, oh, I don't have that much stuff. You will be amazed what comes out of the closets, under the beds. It's just amazing. And so I'm going to try and not let that happen to me again. So then we have our goddess Judy, who says it was a pics of a beautiful tree. The branches were viewed as growth positive and the roots and the depth or negative dark, and the tree needs both to grow. So you need light with the dark. Oh, okay. So what she is referring to is one of the things that we said about embracing your dark side is, and one of our categories, if we ever get to, I always plan to not talk so much. And
It never happens.
anyway, I start rattling on. But one of the things Goddess Star and I was pointing out last week is that the dark, because of TV shows and things like that, have a very negative connotation. But when you think about it, we plant seeds in the dark of the earth before it comes up and drinks in the sunshine. It comes to fruition inside the darkness, and it's nurtured in the womb of the earth before its little shoot rises. So first it's in there. The same way babies are conceived in the dark of the womb. The dark is not just about defense, it's about creativity and
Growth.
manifestation there. If you do not accept that side of yourself, you are serious. In my opinion, keep in mind this is only my opinion and Goddess Star's opinion. You're entitled to whatever opinion and belief that you have, and we will support you. But in our opinion, it lessens your power
Yep.
because you're ignoring a huge resource out of fear when that resource can truly help you to manifest what you want and to defend yourself. There's nothing wrong with using to defending yourself magically. It's a lot of people have no problem with shooting a robber who comes through the door, but going after someone energetically is like, oh no, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. You have every right to defend yourself, your family, and do what you need to do to make sure you guys are safe. So don't let that startle you. And no, you're not going to say it's not going to come back to you 3 times when you are defending your family. You have a basic right to defend yourself and your family. So forget about the law of 3. I don't even know who made up that shit. Sorry, but who made that up? I don't know.
It's a
Don't worry
Christian
about it.
carryover thing. It is. I'm sorry.
I just
I
hate
really
that
believe that. I really believe it's a Christian carryover thing to
to keep you from using
in
your
line.
power.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
load of crap. So don't worry about it. You're defending yourself. You have every right to defend yourself. Okay, Goddess Ember, meditate with focusing on a sound using your ears and not your eyes. Um, Britannia likes mostly working. I'm mostly in the dark, candlelight, eyes closed. Maybe I should do gazing. Give it a try. I like either way. I like gazing in the crystals. I love gazing in the flames, although there's something very seductive to me about fire. Like I start gazing into it, I have a hard time not gazing into it. So I just love fire. So maybe that's it. But do what you feel works for you. Goddess Monica says maybe start with a body check-in and relax. Or maybe you're frowning and you don't realize it. It's true. You have to kind of be aware of yourself, be mindful of what's going on in there. Okay. So then we've got, all right. So Ember's saying, Goddess Star, you're silly. You must have said something that was silly. Goddess Star
I
is
did.
often silly, but inside of her silliness is a lot of wisdom. So it's like one of her forms of teaching, because this is Goddess Star is one of the smartest and most informed as far as magic and spirituality. She is truly a powerhouse. Even though we laugh about it a lot and make jokes, she's got a tremendous amount of wisdom. So that's just a part of her way.
Thank you for
Okay.
defending.
Well, because it's true.
It's all good.
Um,
Thanks.
Goddess Monica says a tree can only grow as tall as its roots reach into the earth. You can't go into the light without going some distance in the dark. I love that. That was really well said. That was awesome. That actually gives me kind of like a little metaphor there, because when I first started growing my house plants, when I moved into an apartment and I had to do more house plants, I would say, oh, because I didn't really know about gardening, pot gardening. I've always gardened in the earth, so now I'm doing
Right.
plants. Logically, in my mind, it made sense for me to, I was like, okay, and let's face it, I was being also lazy. It made sense to me to plant in a big pot so that this way the seeds would have plenty of room to grow and then I wouldn't have to repot the plants. Well, as it turned, and it didn't work. And I couldn't figure out why is this not working for me? Well, as it turns out, when you put seeds into a big pot, the seeds are up here, and then when we water it, the water goes to the bottom, so they don't get the water. So you have to start with a little pot, and then you build, and then it grows and grows and grows. So that kind of goes along with doing your spell work or your spiritual work that you're doing, where you start off and then you build, and you build, and you build, and you build, instead of just trying like I did to jump to the top right away. I actually had to stop and take the steps to make my
To
plants
build
grow.
it,
Now I'm
yeah.
really good at it now, but I had to read that, and I'm like, oh, now I understand, and it made perfect sense. So somewhere there's a message in there. I have no idea why I told you that, but I'm sure there's a message in there somewhere for you, and you have to
Absolutely.
think about it. I don't know what it is, but you'll figure it out. And when you do, let me know. Okay, so we've got Amalov who says, I honor the planetary colors for each day in my attire. Oh, that's a great idea.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Sunday she wears yellow, Saturday she wears black, Monday she wears silver, Tuesday she wears red,
Cool.
Friday she wears pink, etc. That's a fabulous way to honor the planets. And don't forget, each planet is named after a god or goddess, so you're honoring them too. You're empowering yourself. That's an absolutely awesome thing to do. I think I might steal that
Yeah,
from
that's
you.
brilliant, yeah.
You'll notice I
And
have
it's
no problem
simple. It's
stealing
simple
things.
but brilliant.
That is brilliant, and I will be doing that too. So then we've got wow, we've got great comments here tonight. Okay, so we've got Britanna who says, yes, Monica, I think that is my problem because I frown and like lynch. Wait, I'm sorry. I frown and like lynch, and then after I realize that I'm doing so it hurts. I think instead of lynch, you might even say clenching, like maybe you're clenching your eyes or clenching your teeth. After I realize I'm doing so it hurts, like I've been doing it for a long time. Yes, you want to take care of, yeah, there it is. She says, I clench my teeth.
Okay, there
At
you go.
least you're realizing that you clench your teeth. That means you're being mindful. So when you feel, oh, wait a minute, I'm clenching, just relax.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, I'm clenching and ruining everything. Just say, oh, whoops, I'm clenching again. Thanks for letting me know. Goddess, the gods, universe, spirit, whoever. And then stop clenching. So then you'll be in good shape. Okay, so I've got all of that down. That was, first of all, thank you so much. You guys have provided some really great
Insights, yeah. Really
insights
wonderful
and
insights, yeah.
ideas. In fact, now that I'm sitting here before I do anything, because I don't want to forget. And after the show, our chat room disappears like within
Seconds.
seconds. So what I am doing, and I'll put this in our Facebook group, is right this very second, I am copying the chat room comments. It's going a little slower than I hope, but we'll talk while I'm doing it. And then I'll put them in the Priestess view because there's some really good ideas in here. And there's a lot of comments.
Yeah,
I don't have time to sort through all of them, but you'll be able to read them. Or if
to
you
see
want,
them,
go ahead and copy and paste them yourself.
yeah.
Okay. So I think we've pretty much gone over rituals. So now we're going to go over, we're kind of running a little late, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. If you guys are willing to sit with us for a little while longer, we're going to roll with it. Do witch shows give us a bad name? And this kind of goes along in alignment with what we were talking about before, where, it can make us look really bad, some of these shows. And one of my best friend was watching, he's really into Salem. And unfortunately, he was watching it on my Netflix. And for some reason, Netflix, it started with season 2, so we didn't get to see season 1. So I don't know what all happened in season 1. So it started with season 2, but he was watching it, and I just happened to be, passing through and looked at it. And the first thing I saw when I looked at the screen was this woman who was eating eyeballs. Like somebody's eyeballs. It was disgusting. I'm like, oh, I could have gone my whole life and not seen that. That was just disgusting. And he was
It
saying,
cannot
oh.
be.
And I said to him, I was like, is she eating eyeballs? And he's like, well, the reason that she has to eat the eyeballs is because she went blind. And so she stole someone else's eyes and she eats them so that she can see. And periodically she has to eat someone else's eyeballs. And I'm like,
Oh my goddess, really? Oh
here's
my
a person
goodness.
stealing eyeballs to eat them so that they can see, leaving the other person blind or dead. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. So then I was like, I can't watch it. The first thing I'm
And
seeing
that is
is
certainly not a
eyeballs.
witch, but okay. A
But
witch via Salem.
she was portraying a witch. And I was like, you know what? This is not good. I said, is this kind of the theme of the show where And he goes, yeah, he said it's basically a bunch of witches that are fighting for power and doing all these things. And I'm like, well, this is why people have such a bad idea of us. You know, maybe the show is great, maybe the actors and actors are great. I refuse to watch it after seeing the whole eyeball thing and finding out that she steals eyeballs so that she can see. That to me is just so against, everything that I believe in. I actually found it in a front. I actually was offended by it, but I'm like, these are the types of shows. Even though the acting can be great, these shows make us look really, really bad. We have Salem. I also have down Supernatural, because I love Supernatural. Those guys, what's their name, Sam, and so I haven't seen it in so long. I used to watch that show all the time, but then I realized after a while, I was like, they just like will kill any spirit or anything. It's like, oh, there's a spirit, let's kill it. Oh, there's one, let's kill it. And I'm like, well, not everybody's bad. And to be fair, they did do a show where they admitted that they realized they made mistakes. They were going after a group of vampires, and one of the brothers just wanted to wipe them out just because they were vampires. And the other brother had actually gotten to talk to them and know them. They're like, look, we're just living our lives. We're not hurting anybody. They feed off of animals or whatever. So the other brother was fighting him on it. And they got into this really big fight. And then finally the other brother realized, you know what? They are good people. I'm not just going to go and kill them for no reason. That's ridiculous. Then he actually felt bad about other spirits or things that he had just killed, and without investigating to really see if they were bad or not. Now, most of the show, of course, they'll show you that whatever spirit they go after is doing something harmful. But at least they did acknowledge that not all spirits are bad, that you don't just jump on someone because they're a witch, or you have to investigate. So at least they redeemed themselves in my eyes. So they're okay with me. I think kind of the best, one of my favorite shows and one of Goddess Star's favorite shows is Charmed.
Yay.
I loved Charmed because they had three witches with different personalities. You had the one go-getter, Prue, who, she always wanted to do the right thing, and she sacrificed so many relationships just so that she could do her magical work. And she was always learning, she was always developing her skills and things like that. That I love, because I don't think we spend enough time developing our skills. And to be fair, and I don't say that to put judgment on it, because I'm mainly talking to myself, because of the way we don't, Goddess Star and we don't have normal schedules. Like, people will go to work from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, whatever it is they go to work. We're all over the place. We might start off first thing in the morning. We might have to do a reading at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. We don't have a schedule. And so it's kind of hard to have a routine going. But one of the things I really loved about Charm, and especially because it was mainly Prue, who really worked to increase her skills. When she found out that she could be in two places at once, where she could be sitting in her office, but then she could astral project to wherever it was, then she started actually trying to go to a place in spirit, but then move objects while she was in spirit, because one of her things was telekinesis.
Practice.
So she started practicing doing telekinesis in the spiritual, in the astral realm, as opposed to the physical realm. I thought that's an excellent example of how we as witches, wizards, magicians, however you term yourself, should take time to develop our skills. Even if, we try to find a couple of days a week, or, a few hours at night, or even 10, 15 minutes a day to do something to develop our skills. I thought that was a good example of a witch doing that, of actually being able to develop her skills. And again, keep in mind, in that show, Prue did sacrifice relationships so that she could do her work. She would not show up for dates, and then her boyfriends would get mad. And she's like, oh, sorry, I had to, go wipe out a demon or something like that. Sorry, because she couldn't say that to them. But she was really diligent in building her skills. And so I thought that's a good example of a witch show. What do you think, Goddess Star?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it had some excellent points with a lot of things. And I think that was because out of the shows, Charmed actually had, they were what you call it, connecting and conversing and getting ideas and thoughts about real witches from real witches. About, and yes, they know they had to have all the special effects and CGI for the entertainment value of the mass or the masses out there. But in general, they really consulted with real witches on certain things so that they put some reality into there of what witches are like. I think we discussed in the past too, they had a couple of things that we thought that was instilled and ingrained in people because of the show. This whole idea that people that you don't help yourself as well. It's not a good thing to. What was the term again? They used to say that you
Oh,
cannot.
no personal gain.
No, and that's
Yeah,
absolute. That was the part that was absolute crap.
yeah,
But
that
the rest of it, right? But everything else was so well researched and consulted with real witches about that I think that they put out some good parts to what witches are like, and that yes, that they're good and bad, just like they're good and bad in everybody on earth, but in every sector of life, whatever religion they are and all the different things, there's good and bad people, period. And don't just kind of say on a general scale they're witches so they're bad, or they're demons or they're bad, because even among demons or daemons there are good ones,
sure.
so I like that they don't generalize, because that's what people do in real life with races and other things. So it, to me, all of that teaches a lesson. Charm did a lot, I think, in a positive sense when it came to being a show that's out there. I cannot speak for all the other shows because I didn't really watch them much. The only one I may have watched was Supernatural, and it happened that I watched one of the ones with witches, and I was like, "Are you bloody kidding me? This is a show that everybody loves," and it was so stupid. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was something that was so stupid that I sat there going, "Really?" And I just walked away. I couldn't. And so I never watched it after that. That one show, and I was just like, I can't, and I walked away from it. So I never really watched that and any of the. I didn't have not seen the new ones. Haven't done much with the other ones, so I can't tell. For them, they need to consult with real witches and or whatever, so they can get a better idea of how things are. That it's not cut and dry of good or bad or things like that, or because like you said, we were discussing about the dark side people have that idea of it being always bad, and it's not. It's just like how people think the light side or the white side is always good, and that's not true either. So um a lot of things that people have to kind of come together on and kind of learn from. And yeah, there's a lot of shows that kind of make it silly, unfortunately.
There are shows that
Because yeah, a lot of the shows seems to, what I hear is that they people talk about how this one's doing that one harm or the other one doing, and I'm sorry, but we don't spend our 99.9% time doing bad, because that's not in us. It's just too much energy used up that way. So again, you could probably speak more about the different shows, because first of all, I don't have the time.
I know I
But
don't
on
have
top of
a
the
lot of
fact,
time,
yeah,
but
yeah,
some of
that's
the
the thing.
shows
I
that
don't have the time.
I've seen in the past, but just to touch back on with the charm thing where they talked about, oh, no personal gain. I think
Yeah.
it was also, though, an excellent example of how many of witches will say, oh, you can't use it for personal gain, but not realizing they use it for personal gain all the time. Because they're like, oh, and even
Mhm.
in that show, in my one of my favorite examples is what is her name? Not Who was the one that worked as a chef?
Oh, Piper.
Piper. Piper had the ability to freeze people.
Yeah.
And Piper would freeze her boyfriend in a sexual position so that she could keep having orgasms. Okay, that's personal gain, dude. That's personal gain. So, I mean, they would do a lot of things that was for personal gain, but they'd say, oh, no personal gain. I think that was an example of how we do a lot of things for personal gain, but we're just not aware of it. And so I thought that was a good example, because I've met many witches like, oh, no personal gain, no personal gain. And they're doing stuff for personal gain all the time. If you burn a candle for healing to heal yourself, that's personal gain. If you're burning a candle so that you have the money to pay your mortgage at the end of the month, that's personal gain. There's lots of things that are personal gain. So it's okay to do personal gain stuff to help yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. And so what other show did I have here? The Originals. I don't know if anyone has watched The Originals. Now, I will be honest, there's a vampire on there named Klaus that I'm madly in love with.
I knew it was a sexual thing.
I'm in love with him. And even though he is probably the biggest psycho in the world, he's a
Oh
vampire
dear
slash
goddess,
werewolf
really?
hybrid. You know how Rhonda feels about the bad boy. She wants to save. It's like, I want to save Klaus. I can save his character. But I just love him. So he keeps me coming back to that show, although they're not going to be back anymore. They finished the series.
Okay.
But the witches portrayed in that show also, and I'm finding this a theme, and maybe that's one of the things that kind of bothers me. And I know that not all witches are faith-based, and that's okay. But none of these shows really demonstrate spirituality. They demonstrate power, they demonstrate magic, but none of them show spirituality. None of them shows our spiritual side. And so people watching this, they just assume that we're crazy people who want all this power and we do all these horrible negative things. You know, I would love to see a show that kind of changes that shifts that focus from being a bad witch and just doing things to get people's power or steal their eyeballs and eat them. I'm still not over that.
That
I
one got me.
think I'm going to be
That one got me.
traumatized.
But you know what? That's another thing where Charmed actually did cover, because Charmed showed that it was a spiritual thing. I will never forget the episode about Samhain when
Yeah.
they had to go back in time. That was showed the spiritual side. They showed that it was more than just the power, but yet still they practiced and practiced, and it showed you have to do the mundane things as well. You have to do your homework. It's not a fad. Charmed really covered a lot of amazing things. It really was a very well-rounded show and well done, and I've not seen one like it since.
Yeah, they did a good job. And I remember that episode, and it was they're actually one of their ancestors, the one who like started the line,
Yeah, yeah.
had called on the three most powerful witches to come and help her, to come back into the past to help her with these things. And here the girls from Charm showed up. They don't know jack shit. And she's like, why did I call you? You guys are all a bunch of frauds. You don't know this and you don't know that. And when you think about it, because when they started, they happened to find that, you know, they found their grandmother's grimoire, and they kind of learned witchcraft through that by looking at spells, but no one ever taught them anything. And so when they went back in time, it was like the original matriarch witch who started everything was so disgusted. You guys don't know anything. And they're like, well, you know, and so
We're quick studies. We're quick studies. Just show us and we will do it. I thought that was really well
that
done.
was one of my favorite episodes.
You know what? You know which one was another one too? Was it may not it may not ring true for a lot of people, but when I'm not sure if it's Piper, not Piper, the one not Piper, not Prue, the younger one, Alyssa Milano's character.
Piper Prue.
I think it was when she was getting married. I love that all the ancestors came up to the line of Hollowells to bless the wedding, to bless the hand fasting. I love that hand fasting. That was beautiful. That was very much showing the spiritual side of who we are, that even our weddings or our hand fastings were meant to be something that brought all the spiritual side of us and all the ancestors and all of that. I mean, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. And so, you know, I do think it's important for us I wish that there were shows that actually portrayed us in a better light, because I look at these other shows and I'm like, wow, they really make us look bad.
Yeah. Is there anybody in the chat room that know of shows that in any way give a better light to it?
Speaking of shows, I had someone, I downloaded this book because I want to do more reading like I used to. And I found this book. It's called, you can get it on Amazon. It's called Salem Burning. I think you can get it on Kindle for like $2.99 or something. And it's about a guy back in Salem during the witch trials who gets angry with his fiance and accuses her of being a witch. not knowing that she really is one. And then it goes from there. So I thought I told him that I would mention it, and because it sounded really good, and I'm gonna watch that myself tonight. But anyway, getting back to that, I just wanted to say, and if we have any I know we've got some creative people out there. We've got lots of writers out there. Why not? If some of you have that ability to write,
That
why
talent,
not write
please.
something that portrays us in a much better light than the way we're portrayed, because we are really betrayed.
Yeah.
We are portrayed very,
Very
very
badly.
bad.
Yeah. It would be nice if they would, not just write it, but consult with some of us, and not just one, but a few, because unfortunately, unfortunately, we know many things are not said or done in the correct form. Not correct, but in the right light.
Right.
Um, so it would be nice if they did, or someone would do something along those lines that would give it better clarity for people, and not be so much misunderstanding um, about it. But that show really, as old as it is, it was the you can still hold all of them up against it, and it kind of is above the rest of them.
Absolutely. So on that note, we're going to take another look at our chat room to see what you guys have to say. It looks like we've got some more things here. Okay, so we've got, oops, I went a little too far. Hold on one second.
I think somebody mentioned about Buffy, and I thought that was good too,
I
because they
love
were, yeah, I did like Willow's character. She kicked ass.
Yeah, Willow was very, way cool.
Yeah, yeah. But then I love Buffy no matter what. Buffy kicked ass all across the place. I love that show in general. That was another one that I loved.
Okay. All right, so Goddess Monica says, yes, witch shows don't show all the details. We are a lot funnier. Yes, we are. Goddess Ember says, styrofoam egg cartons are great for starting seeds. And you can use, whoops, hold on, I went a little too far. You can use a layer of river pebbles for energy and minerals for the plants. Thank you for that. That's good advice. We've got no school like the old school Nate, who says, I personally am grateful that you have this witch show. I think it's not only important to present the right info, but also the humanity. Goddess Dora and Goddess Rhonda, thank you so much for that.
Aw, thank you,
That was a
Nate.
beautiful
That's
thing.
so beautiful of you to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't forget you guys too, because you guys also, people can look at our past shows, and if they see a lot of the comments that you guys have said, they'll see the wisdom behind all of you as well. So we're proud to have you guys as part of our chat room and part of our show.
Absolutely. And Goddess Monica adds that cardboard egg cartons are better for the earth and can be transplanted directly. Oh, that's great. So you can just break off that piece of the cardboard and plant it. That's an excellent, excellent idea. Goddess Ember says, Deaf Well said, old school. Love you. I always want more episodes and can't wait to talk to you all. Family is healing first. Oh, thank you. You are a family.
Yeah, that's so
Love
nice
you
of
very
you.
much.
Yeah.
Goddess Ambrosia says, Monica, the cardboard soaks up the water. Hold on, let me just scroll a little bit down a little bit there. There's this big blue arrow in the middle of it, and I don't know how to get rid of it. The cardboard soaks up the water, the seeds don't get it. So the other, hold on, best to repel water. I am so having a hard time with this. The cardboard soaks up the water, the seeds don't get it. So the other, hold on. I don't know why I can't, why this is doing this to me.
Let me see if I can help.
Yeah, help me. Okay, I got it.
You got it?
The other is best to repel water, and the pebbles add that too. Love charmed off topic. Okay. And loyalty makes you family says that reminds me watching the show because they portray the divine feminine as insane and murderous, and I felt offended and disrespected. That's also true too. I've seen things where they portray some of the goddesses as being really nasty, and I'm like, well, good luck with that.
Oh, I think what she said was she loved the show The Outsiders. Is that what I think it was that you were saying?
Oh, here, wait a second.
That's yeah,
Oh yeah,
because
that reminds me of the show The Outsiders. I stopped watching the show because they portrayed the divine feminine as insane. I never watched that show, but
I
I would
never even heard
be
of it.
really angry if I saw that.
Yeah, that's just uncool.
And then we have Goddess Monica says, love and light crowd drive me crazy. Don't you realize you end up projecting the darkness onto others and end up attracting dark characters? You know what? People have to learn on their own. She also goes on to say the personal gain thing is a Christian myth. Watch
Yep.
all the videos on televangelists. No, and it's true. The televangelists, oh man, they are just off the chain.
Yeah.
Televangelists are multimillionaires while
Yep.
insisting all of the rest of us be broke for God.
Yeah, but it's the funniest thing. I didn't who said that? I must have been reading their minds because I was just thinking those exact same thoughts and you read it and I'm just like because they are always making people feel like they should be to live closer to God is to be more on the poorer side, but yet when you check them out, Chami, whatever her name is, and all the rest of them, they have gold, whatever gold utensils and gold faucets and all of that, 24 karat gold, mind you, and all the different things, and they're living better than everybody else. So the personal gain just somehow is supposed to just bypass them and stop to everybody else.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Not at all. And then we have Satsuki and Maymoon who says, I'm a writer, I'm working on it, but I need more knowledge because I'm new. That's okay. Take your
All
time.
right, take your time, Suki, and then we can't wait for you to put out the shows for us.
Absolutely. There's no rush. Take your time.
Yep. And you've got lots of us, all of us here to consult with to if you need help with it.
Absolutely. You have us
Hint, hint,
here
hint.
to help you. And then we have Ember who says, once you know enough, hold on there. Once you know enough, you see how oral taken is best for knowledge. Hold on, oral spoken is best for knowledge. There's this big blue thing here. It's driving me crazy.
It's right in the middle, yeah.
It's right in the middle. Ashley Bunny says the originals have amazing witchcraft content on their show. And then we have Ember. Hold on, Goddess Ember. Try to move it slowly. Now they, i.e. Hollywood, decided to take, hold on, because the stupid thing, the stupid blue arrow.
Let me see if where is it? Got okay, I only see.
Decided
Are
to,
you past Monica?
okay, I finally got it to do it. Decided to take on Artemis in a show. Depicting gods and goddesses in a disrespectful manager has a consequence. My idea, it's not my idea of a smart thing. Absolutely. I think it's just ridiculous that they do that. I think that was our last, yeah, that was the last one.
Right.
And so, I think it's important for us, especially all of you who are the creative ones out there. I would love to see you guys create stories and things that put us in a much better light because I think that that's important. And I do think that, they want to keep us looking bad so that they can, continue to have power over us and keep people as sheep. And so I think part of our duties is to try to do whatever we can to fix that. So anyway, with that said, at least we got through 2 topics tonight. That's not so bad.
Yep.
We can do the rest
Cover
of
more
them
next time. Yep.
next week. We have more topics to do for that next week. But as always, Goddess Star and I want to say how much we appreciate you, how much we love you, how much you teach us, and how much we love communing and being in harmony with you. We just love you to pieces. Please join our Facebook group on Facebook. Just put in the Priestess View group. It'll show up. Please like our Facebook page and please visit both of our websites. They're right there in the description of the video. You can go to goddessrhonda.com, charmbystar.com, and look at all the wonderful things that we offer. We have lots of services and products that we can help you to boost you up as well. And we're just really grateful for you. And so with that said, we will see you again next week.
Yes.
Merry meet.
Merry part.
And
merry meet again. And blessed be to you all. Oh, I forgot. Let me go say goodbye quickly.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we're going to say goodbye in the chat room
In the
before we
chat
hit
room
the button
before it goes
because it just disappears.
really fast.
So we'll just take a second. This way we can at least say goodbye.
Yeah, right. Because a lot of times we're rushing to get to it and it's gone. So
Okay, so now that we did that, we can sign off. So everyone have an
yes,
awesome week. Happy full
yeah,
moon. I may bring you everything that you want. We love
yes.
you to pieces, and we'll see you
And
next
we'll
week.
see you guys next week. Mwah.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone. Have a great
Very
night.
tired.